to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
And AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Money, 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 money. Throw it around, boys. Go get you some. Because everybody's getting them some. It's the NBA free agency, and it is open for business. And boy, we took the wrong profession. I mean, if I wasn't short, but I'm slow. That would have been a good profession. Because people are getting paid. Good morning, boys and girls, and happy July. July 1st is in your ear, the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. How you living?
What it do?
You gotta go get you some of that NBA free agency money that's being handed out like candy. Kind of crazy.
Man, free agency is always fun. The hope, the hype, the rebuilds, chasing titles.
Fun. That's a good word. You enjoy
Not
it?
my money. I don't care.
Yeah. No, I love it.
I know I'm not using it, but it's like, this is the business. Right? It's your job to make the tough decisions. Whatever apron you're in and luxury tax penalties you're going to pay, and does your owner want to pay up, and how aggressive you're going to be if you have a star. Is he too old? Do you need to be pressured by him? Business, baby.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I even understand a cap anymore, because then there's a cap, and then there's a gap before the first penalty phase, but then the first apron hits way after that. Like, can you help me on the cap? 'Cause I just don't get it.
So there's levels to it, and it's structured to where you can pay your own players. So, like, if your draft picks,
then your cap's higher.
Rookie contract extensions, or if a player, you have, said rights to a player after X amount of years, like, you can pay them to keep them somewhere. And that was kind of the whole why we've seen 7 champs in 7 years, is they're trying to reward teams and say, all right, you have a max player, he's been here, you can push to this apron. But what it does is it limits you severely in trades. Like, if you're a first apron team or a second apron team, then you can't take back contracts. So that's where it really comes into money. Like, oh, just trade, LeBron James here or there. It's like, well, the Cavs are a luxury tax team, thus, like, the salaries have to perfectly match for that trade to go through.
It's smarter than me. The LeBron stuff, I want to get there. I do, because I'm listening to so many experts tell me that they know. I think the majority of people believe LeBron James is staying in Los Angeles. LeBron opted in for his $52.6 million the other day. So common wisdom says, well, if he wanted to go somewhere, why wouldn't he have then just opted out and picked his spot? And the answer is he couldn't have got as much money, right? He probably would not have gotten $52.6 million. Correct?
No.
Right? So he signs. If he wants to force his way out, he could force a trade. From the Lakers' perspective, that's probably better, because at least they would get something back in that regard if, in fact, LeBron decides he wants out, right?
Yes.
From LeBron's side, wherever he's going would have to give up pieces. So if LeBron was ring chasing or all about the ring culture, which he says he hates, which I'm fine with, but I believe the reason that he would leave Los Angeles now, the only reason is to go chase a ring, right? Why else would he leave?
Yeah, that's the whole point right now.
All right. So if it's not about ring culture, but it is, and I'm fine with that, because I believe it is, and I believe at this point it should be, to be honest with you. For him, the best case scenario to go chase a ring would have been free agency, would it have not? It would have been less money. I mean, again, I don't know the difference, how you live if you make $44 million as opposed to $52 million. I'd love to know. I don't. But I'm listening to everybody. There's a few screaming heads. Nope, he's gonna want out, because their big signing yesterday was Jake LaRavia, or LaRavia. How do you tell me? Is it LaRavia or LaRavia? The guy the Lakers signed from Sacramento. Kenny might not even know. I bet he does when he comes in later. But I mean, do you see what I'm saying? And so that's why I think LeBron is going to be a Laker this year. And I think LeBron's going to be unhappy because they're not going to be able to make the moves that he wants them to make. They got a forward who can shoot a little bit. They'll have Luka Doncic. They'll have the players. They'll be the 6th seed, 5th seed, somewhere in there, and probably won't contend for a championship because Houston's stocking up, and I want to get to Houston in a minute. But help me understand why the people that are screaming LeBron's going to get traded, where it works and why, other than money, and if money's the answer, I'm fine with it. Maybe it is the answer. He wouldn't have gone the free agent route, picked a spot, and the team wouldn't have had to give up assets to the Lakers because Lakers aren't going to just give them away just to make LeBron happy.
No, and the Lakers are in a tough spot because you do look at that roster and you're like, why are you in such a bad place salary-wise when it feels like you don't have any good players?
Yes.
Like, there's 30 dudes. And at some point in time, you got to realize, hey, Austin Reeves isn't an untouchable player. So he always has to be in these conversations.
I think Austin Reeves going to end up getting traded at some
moving
point.
Forward, just to open up ability. Because when you look at the players that have been signed, like, there's deals that really, like, can't even get in the Brook Lopez conversation.
No, Clippers got him for 2 years for $18 million. I mean, Brook Lopez was one of the guys yesterday. Oh, yeah. And it might end up being DeAndre Ayton, right? Which there's been flashes of DeAndre Ayton being really good. And DeAndre Ayton was a number 1 overall pick. And DeAndre Ayton played in the NBA Finals. And maybe you get the best DeAndre Ayton that there's available, and he's your guy. Because I kind of feel that that's where that's leaning, don't you?
Yeah, when you look at the market and teams scooping up the centers like Clint Capella, that's a fantastic deal. Just 3 years, $21 million for Houston.
Look, they're. Did I say this to you yesterday? Was it on Friday when Zay was here? They're my favorite right now. And after what they did yesterday, they got Capella and they got Finney-Smith or Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yeah, they kept their impactful players in their Kevin Durant trade.
Yeah.
They added quality veteran depth. Those are exactly what you want when you're trying to take that next step and win multiple playoff series.
I look at their roster right now. They've got a veteran point guard who's won a championship. So to me, it's like they got a floor general. They got a veteran closer who's won a championship, and Kevin Durant, who I believe has something to prove and still has a lot left in the tank. They've got young studs. Amen Thompson is just fantastic. I think they've got a really good coach, and then the pieces they put together. Like Oklahoma City's the champs, and they've probably got to still be your favorites, but they don't have to be. I look at Houston and what they're doing right now. I mean, Houston's an NBA championship contender to me right now.
Yes. I'd even say they're better than Oklahoma City right now.
I can accept that argument. Yeah, and that's why I was saying they're my favorites right now. As I look at what they've done in Boston, with Tatum hurt, with Kyrie hurt, and Kyrie went, Dallas went out and signed. We were talking about this the other day. D'Angelo Russell signs a 1-year deal. Look at Dallas's roster with Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg, and now they got a point guard in D'Angelo Russell, and who am I missing there? We were just talking about them the other day. I think Dallas is going to be okay. The West is good, but Houston's my team. But explain to me, do you think then the Lakers? Why would the Lakers trade him at this point? They're not going to give him away. If he wants out, all right, then they're going to get something in return. He's still freaking LeBron James, right?
Yeah, you still want to compete with Luka and LeBron this season, even with
Klay Thompson is where I was going. Sorry.
The thought of not overpaying or chasing for Dorian Finney-Smith because they want to have a lot of flexibility after this season, which makes sense. And when Luka should have the official takeover of that franchise and start putting pieces around him, like however Laker fans feel, and you just got to ride out this LeBron James thing for LA. Like having LeBron on that roster this season is still best case scenario because you just can't throw a trade out there just to make movement when, all right, what are you making movement for when he's on a 1-year deal? Nothing.
I think it's going to be really interesting what the new ownership decides, right? LeBron's been tied to Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss, and she is still the governor. He is still the general manager. But they now report to a different group of people. A group of people who has been very successful in building the Dodgers to what they are, right? Being pretty savvy in the moves that they have made in building the Major League Baseball roster. Is it horribly different? It's not. You rely on your people who know the game, and you spend money. If there's a deal that comes up, I won't be surprised if they make a deal. If a deal that makes sense, And the deal's gonna have to make sense to keep Luka happy, not just in the future, but this year.
Yeah, but I also think it makes sense for the Lakers. Yeah, you want to be competitive, do what you can with the limited space you have, but it's 1 year. And it was almost, I think, to them, a blessing in disguise that it wasn't this opt-out 1+1. It's 1 more year.
That LeBron wanted to opt out and go 1-1 again. Do you think they'd have done it?
Probably.
New ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a whole nother 1-1 option. I guess he could have tried that, or maybe they let him walk at that point. It could have saved him a little money this year, and that would have, for LeBron, given him a little bit more money to go out and do something this year. Yeah, it's interesting. Money's going around. We'll get into that. Kenny Thomas is going to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock. I believe it'll be our final Kick It with Kenny. Who knows? This basketball season, and then he'll be back when Hoop starts up again in the fall. You can get in today, 505-246-0610. That's how to find us today on the Sports Animals phone line and our text line. Is our text line working? I heard Clark say over there theirs isn't. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the X, it's _JJ Buck. On the Facebook, the OD in the AM. Adrian's producing the TV show. You can watch it on Xfinity Channel 26. It's a simulcast of our radio show. You just get to see JJ's handsome face. You can watch it on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM, and on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. We'll have a sweet deal for you at 8:15, one of your favorites. When we come back, some of the other money that's going around that the Rockets are doing because they are going all in. Jaren Jackson got paid. And what about Giannis? We'll get into all that when we get back. Taking a roadie? Going on the road? Or maybe just your vehicle is dealt with life and it's time to call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. You just got back from a road trip, or when you do, your car is a mess. Bugs all over the grill and the windshield, wrappers and crumbs and junk everywhere. It needs On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They will come out and they will bounce your vehicle back to that brand new feel, that brand new look, that brand new smell that you had the day you took it off the lot, but you don't have to pay that brand new price. On the Spot Automotive Detailing comes to you at your convenience. That means at your location, your home, your office, wherever it is that it works for you, whenever it is that works for you, they bring their mobile unit, they detail your vehicle, and they've been voted best in the city for their product. That means you can't get any better. It is the best detailing service available. Talk to them about their window tinting because it's really, really hot outside. This will keep your vehicle cooler. And ask them about ceramic coating and paint protection film to keep your exterior safe and clean all year long. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing. You can book and buy at otsdetailing.com. It's all online. otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Sportsbook.
All right, so who's throwing the money around and who's, catching the money? Houston has been very, very active early in free agency, JJ. Dorian Finney-Smith, 4 for 53, 4 years, $53 million. And they went out and who's the other one we were just talking about? You just told me about it. We literally just
Clint
Capella. You look at their roster now, and they got Kevin Durant. They got Amen Thompson. And you're saying, well, how are they putting it all together, right? How they doing it salary-wise? And Steven Adams is still there too, right?
Yeah, so all of a sudden,
$12 million.
Inside, you got Sengun, Steven Adams, Clint Capella.
And Şengün's only making, this is how they're doing it, he's only making $5.4 million.
And then you still have, Amen Thompson developing, Tari Eason coming off the bench.
They love Jabari Smith.
Jabari Smith, 22 years old, former number 3 overall pick.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, as you mentioned, Fred VanVleet and Kevin Durant. All the veterans you need with the young upside.
Yeah. You got rings in Durant and VanVleet. You've got young studs in Thompson and Jabari Smith and Şengün. And you've got these guys, these pieces in Finney Smith and Capella and Adams. I don't know how you look at them, and I get it that they just had a parade in Oklahoma. But this team right here, to me, is the best roster in the league right now. I'm not sure, outside of Oklahoma City, who else we'd even have a conversation with. Orlando's putting pieces together. Orlando's nice. Boston, they're breaking it up. The Knicks, Indiana was just there. Halliburton's out for the year. I like what Detroit's doing. They're making moves. But as we sit here today, and everybody's going to make moves now. Everybody's, Dallas, right? They're going to run out a starting lineup with D'Angelo Russell and Klay Thompson and Anthony Davis, Cooper Flagg, and they just signed their center, Lively, right?
Gafford, Lively. That's maybe a top 6 team.
So I think that's a nice roster. Without Kyrie, probably not. This one right here, I love what Houston's done.
Yeah, Houston and OKC are separated themselves from the rest of the Western Conference, and it's, again, one you look at and say there's good, intriguing teams, but definitely not the depth of championship contenders we thought or had the feeling of.
We're not done yet. Right? I mean, we're not done. Pistons and Kings are talking to Dennis about a Dennis Schroeder from Malik Monk sign and trade. That'd be interesting. Gary Trent Jr. signed with the Bucks. Jordan Clarkson is going to the Knicks. Taurean Prince stays with the Bucks. Tell me what you think of this one. And this is something that, I don't know. The Hawks are making noise. The Hawks are really trying. Somebody told me yesterday they think the Hawks are the third best team in the East. Luke Kennard, 11 years, 11 million for 1 year. He's a shooter. They just signed Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's brother. 4 years, $62 million. You like what they're doing? The Hawks have made some moves.
Yes, this is one where you still have Trae Young there, so you know what they're about. It's going to just be space and an up-tempo pace. Spread it out, give Trae a ton of options. Porzingis can stretch the floor. Alexander-Walker can stretch the floor, plus bring you some defensive presence, which he showed in Minnesota last year. Luke Kennard is just straight up a three-point shooter. They're hitting over 40% of his shots. And so they're just going all in on the spacing aspect of it. And it's a pretty good offseason for a team that kind of really unsure of where they're going. And it felt like it was time to really reset everything with Trae Young. But they're still trying to be competitive with him at the point guard.
Well, I mean, you look at the East with all the injuries and the uncertainty around Giannis, right? Who would you say right now is the favorite? And again, we're a long way away, and I don't know how rosters are going to be constructed through free agency and trades. Who's your favorite in the East right now?
Just give Cleveland.
Okay.
That in the regular season.
Okay. But they're not dominant. Here comes Detroit, and here comes Orlando.
Well, I think Detroit's been incredibly disappointing.
Because they haven't done anything?
Yeah. One of the players they could have brought back is apparently under investigation for
gambling,
maybe betting on himself in a game.
Yep. Orlando is the other one who's made some moves.
And I do think that they could slide in really as that number 2 team in the Eastern Conference.
Kevin Looney for the first time. They'll leave Golden State. Kevin Looney signed with New Orleans, 2 years, $16 million. Celtics lose another piece. They lose one of their big guys, Luke Cornett, 4 years, $41 million. He's going to San Antonio. Another team take a look at San Antonio and watch what they're doing with all those young pieces that they got. And then the trade, Michael Porter Jr. goes to the Nets. And I'm really interested to see how you feel about this. Cam Johnson, I like this for Denver. It was time on the Michael Porter Jr.
This was huge. Now, they had to give up one of their last remaining first-round picks that they had available. Nuggets have moved a lot of first-round picks over the last few years to really just get Brooklyn to take on Michael Porter Jr.'s salary because they do save a big chunk of change MPJ to Cam Johnson, but Cam Johnson is a better three-point shooter.
Yep. Better defender.
Better contract. And MPJ, you tip your cap, man. They won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Paid off, but they needed the ability to make some moves. This free ups a couple more things they could do in just terms of, like, you know, those veteran minimum contracts and stuff. But it run its course, and they had to do something to create a little bit of depth. And this was a really good move for the Nuggets.
So the Nuggets trade Michael Porter Jr. and their 2032, which seems so far out in the distance. Their first round pick in 2032, they get Cam Johnson from the Nets. I absolutely like it for them. I'm with you on that 100%. Lakers, Jake LaRavia, 2 years, $12 million. Okay. I mean, that Laker fan, there you go. There's your signing. How's that going over in LA today? They're watching all these signings, all this money around the league, and they're going, that's what we did.
Why not us?
That's what we did. Memphis. Jaren Jackson, this is huge for them. 5 years, $240 million. Player option in the final year. He's the Defensive Player of the Year in 2023. Averaged over 22 points a game this year. So it's him and Ja Morant that they're building around. And Memphis is tying their star to Jaren Jackson and Ja Morant.
They created some flexibility with Desmond Bain trade to give them some assets to move around, but they feel, you know, this is still a duo. You know, Ja Morant's not. He is outside of the trust circle right now.
Yeah.
But they're looking at Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. as keeping them competitive.
Yeah. All right, get more of them as they come in. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in today. That's our email, or that's our text line and our phone line, 505-246-0610. I'll send a text. I don't know if the text line's going. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. When we come back, let's get into NFL stuff. There was a big trade yesterday in the National Football League, and there may be some more coming. And is TJ Watt on the trade block? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
Brought to you by Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
We had the big Dolphins-Steelers trade yesterday morning. Jalen Ramsey going from the Dolphins to the Steelers. Minka Fitzpatrick going back from Pittsburgh to Miami. Jonnu Smith also, the tight end, going from Miami. That was a separate deal. J.T. Watt skipped the most recent minicamp for the Steelers. J.T. Watt, the best players in the game. Steelers are going, it feels like all in. They've got Aaron Rodgers for a year. Unless Aaron Rodgers decides he wants another year, because he has a good year, and then maybe they go another year. But as we're operating, it looks like it's a year, right? Multiple teams, evidently, according to the report by ESPN. I'm not sure which reporter. Oh, by Schefter. Adam Schefter. Multiple teams are discussing whether they can make a trade for T.J. Watt. Now, outwardly, the Steelers are not showing any want or willingness to make a move and get rid of the guy who's anchored their defense. But he's unhappy with his contract. Outside interest is going to increase. Monday, right? They made the trade. Steelers say they want him to finish his career there. Great. Ramsey's getting $26.6 million. Steelers took on the bulk of his contract for the season. Dolphins paid $3 million of that. Jonnu Smith's going to get a contract extension. And Watt's the final year of his deal. He skipped OTAs. He signed a 4-year, $112 million deal in 2021. Average is $28 million a year. Good gelt. Since then, as always happens, this being 2025, a 4-year-old contract is antiquated and certainly not market value. The deal Myles Garrett signed that averages $40 million a year, JJ, 4 years from now is going to be out of date. Myles Garrett's going to want more right? Somebody else
Always
could
going
be,
to want more.
Yeah, somebody else could be making a lot more money. So J.J. Watt at $28 million a year is unhappy because Myles Garrett reset the market. $40 million a year, $123.5 million guaranteed money. Watt's 31 in October. What should they do? Do you re-sign? Do you reset the market again to re-sign him at 31 years old? Do you have him play out the final year of his deal? It's always tricky, man, because you got to spread money around. He's been somewhat the face of your franchise. I'm not sure who else has been the face of that franchise over the last 5 years, right? It's been him, right?
It has been, and that's the challenge for Pittsburgh is they've invested a lot in that defense. It's what they've built their identity on. They love it, but a face of a franchise is an edge rusher. Is that going to get you anywhere?
But you got to have one, and you got a really good one. Now, is he the best in the game right now? I mean, you can make an argument that he is. You sure can, can't you? I mean, there's some good ones out there. Him, Myles Garrett, certainly a good one. Cowboys got one. Who like? There's a top 5, and you can probably skim them in any order, right?
Yeah, I do think that Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt, in terms of that edge, are
the
two I go with above everyone else.
So this is where I always get back to it, and this is what drives people crazy. And I'm not sure I understand it from the player's perspective, but I understand it because I'm sure I haven't even checked my email box, but I'm sure I'm going to get it. Right? Why do they sign contracts? They want the stability, they want the security. Then why, when you sign a 5-year or 4-year deal, what was the deal? 5 years, 4 years, whatever he signed back in 2021. What's a contract worth? Back then, when you were the highest paid player and you were making $28 million per year, it was great. 4 years, $112 million is what it was. That was great. We made you the highest paid player. But now there's other guys. What's a contract worth? And I do understand the other side of it. Right? From ownership side, come on, man. We made you the highest paid player then. We gave you all this guaranteed money, and now it's not good enough. You're right. It's not good enough. Because that dude's making $12 million a year more than me, and he's not $12 million a year better than me. Yeah, but you have the security. You signed the deal. Yeah, but it's expired. I want a new one. I want my money. It's a very limited window for these guys to make money. I get both sides of it. The other side is, well, contract's one-sided. They can get rid of you whenever they want. Yeah, but you got most of your money up front. You got a ton of guaranteed money in this deal. I don't know what the right answer from the Steelers is. I know Steeler fans saying just sign him because, well, like as you said earlier, it's not my money, right? Which is right. It's not my money. But they only have so much to go around because it's a hard cap league.
That is correct. And this is why it comes down to that, what you just said, that guaranteed money up front. Is there a number where, this is still a very productive player that we're talking about as one of the best defensive players in the league still at 31 years old? Do you feel that there's a window you can maximize that over the next 2 to 3 years with a nice chunk of guaranteed money that works with the cap, because next year you're still going to have to be flexible figuring out what you're doing in terms of who's taking snaps for that football team?
How much do you think he wants? Like, what would be fair for him? If you were going to re-up him and say, you know what, you're right. Myles Garrett's making all that money, and we got to get you up to market value. You're going to be 31. I give you 3 years at 121 and guarantee you $80 million, and we move on. Does that feel right to you?
Yeah, it's in that Myles Garrett world. We're having those.
Yeah, I got to pay you $1 more than him. I got to pay you $1 more than him. Or is that 100 or $1 million more or whatever? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because the ego always, I got to make more than him. I got to be the highest paid. I don't know if he's that guy. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. I'm not going to blame him if he is. Right? We sit here and talk about, like, Laker fans so pissed off that LeBron opted in for the max. That he didn't put some back into the pool so they can go out and get players, right? Is this one of those? You're in a situation now in Pittsburgh where you're really fortunate for a year. Your quarterback's only making $13 million. I mean, everybody else quarterback who thinks they're contending is making 45 to 55 to $60 million. So you got a whole lot of extra money to spread around. Is that where some of that should go? And I can listen to the argument if it's yes. I can. And they probably need to do that. Because at some point, and they could be in a situation where they are low on the quarterback skill for a number of years if they draft a quarterback next year, right? But Aaron Rodgers came in at $13 million. The teams who you think are contending for a championship, Buffalo is not paying their quarterback $13 million. Kansas City, Cincinnati are not. Denver, if you think they're competing, yes. But the Rams aren't. The Eagles sure as hell aren't. Washington might be. You know, they're in that low end. But it's going to be interesting. Watch the Pittsburgh thing with T.J. Watt. Because it won't shock me at this point if they say, you know what, we got a deal we couldn't pass up. And somebody says, and it's a contender, and somebody says, watch us, we're going to make a splash. And I don't know, who would it be, JJ? Who's got some money that they could throw at him? Would it be, I mean, can Houston do it? It'd have to be someone with cap space. But watch it as we go. And when we get back, it's July 1st. I mean, some conference news. You had some of the Pac yesterday. They are now a complete conference. Aggie fan, your conference just changed today. I'll tell you about that when we get back. Getting engaged, looking for that perfect ring. John Thomas Jewelers is your spot. But how do you know it's going to be the perfect ring? You probably don't, do you? That's why John Thomas Jewelers is your spot. The no regrets ring makes it easy. At John Thomas Jewelers, you go in, they have 3,000 bridal rings for you to take a look at right now, men's and women's. If you don't like exactly what you're see exactly what you're looking for, they will create this for you. They've got their state-of-the-art on-site design center, and you create the ring. You'll see it in 3D. You preview it in 3D printed wax before they make it in precious metals. Then you give it to her, she says yes, and if it comes out that it's not exactly what she wants, you've got a year after you propose, no penalty, to exchange it. Nobody does this. It's the no regrets ring, and it's exclusively at John Thomas Jewelers. Plus, their rings come with a free lifetime nationwide warranty.
This report
Their
is
diamonds are
sponsored by-
hand-selected from Antwerp, Belgium. They go over there themselves, diamond capital of the world. You can't get anything like it. It's the no regrets ring, and it is exclusively at John Thomas Jewelers, my jewelers. Go make them your jewelers as well. They're on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. It's on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal. See why they've been voted the best jewelry store in town for 4 straight years. Voted one of the coolest jewelry stores in America. It's John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite,
it's the new athletic year in college athletics. Yesterday, before the July 1st deadline, Texas State informed the Sun Belt Conference its intent to leave the conference in a year, kept the buyout at $5 million as opposed to going to $10 million, which would have hit today. They joined the Pac-12. So the Pac-12 is now a viable and NCAA recognized 8 football playing members, 9 overall members, starting 1 year from today. That would be San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and Utah State, leaving the Mountain West to join Washington State and Oregon State, the leftovers or the holdovers from the old Pac-12, and now Texas State, all of whom will play football, and Gonzaga, who will be a full member in all sports that they play outside. They do not play football. So that is a done deal. Zero surprise, right? I think we've seen this coming for 5-6 months. When Tulane and Memphis basically said, yeah, no, we're not coming. When Plan A and Plan B probably fizzled, this is where they were going to go. I don't know, and I haven't seen anywhere, JJ, have you, the Texas State deal, like as far as what their finances are? I've seen reports that they're not coming in at a full share immediately. They held a lot of the cards, but when it was said and done, this was an upgrade for Texas State as well, and they wanted to get into the Pac-12.
Yeah, I haven't seen any details on what share level they're at. They banking on just the recognition, even though it's not. You look at the media deal right now for the Pac, and kind of just the view nationally, it wasn't just a seamless, oh, the Pac's back in its power conference, but definitely there's still that buzz, and it gets the fan bases going, just clamoring to be a part of that. And we'll see, Texas State, it's really just 2 years of success that has them in this position.
Yeah, but this is they've got facilities, they've got money, they've got enrollment, they've got alumni. It's a 40,000 plus undergrad, which doesn't make it great. It just makes it big. But it's in a rich recruiting area located between Austin and San Antonio and San Marcos. It's an institution that is invested in facilities.
Okay, so they have, because I've been reading stories that they had 8 straight losing seasons, and former coaches are like, yeah, we like practicing it at high schools better than on our campus.
And so now they're investing in it, right? And 100%. That's how that was. It's been a quick rise. I mean, they went, from the WAC years ago through the American, and now here they are. So that went down. Today is July 1st. New Mexico State and the conference in which they currently play, Conference USA, they officially welcome Delaware and Missouri State into Conference USA. Their commissioner of that league is Judy McLeod. Quote, "Today marks an exciting new chapter for us as we look forward to the energy and competitive spirit that Delaware and Missouri State will add to the league. Both institutions bring a strong tradition of academic and athletic excellence, and their commitment to innovation and growth aligns perfectly with our vision for the future." That was her quote. So Aggie fan, get used to playing conference rivals Delaware, the Blue Hens, and Missouri State, I believe the Bears, if I'm not mistaken. They got to now worry about being poached. Does the Sun Belt need to replace Texas State? And if so, do they look at Western Kentucky and or Louisiana Tech out of the Conference USA?
Goodness, I need to create like a handy dandy flow chart.
Dude, it's hard, man. In my business,
what are these conferences now? What will they be in a year from now?
Yeah. No, it's hard. In my business, man, trying to figure out who's in what league and who can play in a bowl game and who do you match up and where does it go? No, it is. One other college football note, and this needs to be addressed because yesterday we talked about the BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff, who had that rape charge against him. The civil lawsuit accusing BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff of rape has been dismissed. So the parties jointly agreed to dismiss that without prejudice. But Retzlaff does plan to transfer because he faces a possible 7-game suspension for violating the school's honor code by admitting to premarital sex during the legal proceedings. So that is a violation of the BYU honor code. He'd rather go transfer somewhere than sit out 7 games. So there's a good quarterback on the market. 505-246-0610. Kenny Thomas is going to be in coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll kick it with him, former Lobo great. Sweet deal coming up in about 15 minutes on the opening drive. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient. They're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
In the NBA with the free agent signings, and if there's more stuff, we'll get it to you. The big stuff, kind of the headlines from yesterday. The Nuggets traded Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets, along with their 2032 first-round pick for Cam Johnson. That was a big deal. I like it for the Nuggets. I think you do too. D'Angelo Russell signed a 1-year, $13 million deal with the Dallas Mavericks, so he'll be their point guard for the Mavericks, who think they've got a shot, and I think they do too, with Kyrie Irving out. Dorian Finney-Smith signs 4 years, $53 million with Houston. Clint Capella also signed with Houston, who's just done some work. Brooke Lopez, 2 years, $18 million with the Clippers. Memphis signed Jaren Jackson to a 5-year, $240 million extension. Lakers signed Jake LaRavia, to a 1-year deal. 6'8", 235 pounds, shooting forward. And there's all kinds of talk sitting around there with Giannis and LeBron and all that stuff. Hey, I want to get into something with you that I haven't really discussed. And as we sit here on the precipice of media days for college football, Big 12 will hold their media day next week at the Star in Frisco. The Mountain West is the week after. I mean, we're literally sitting on the cusp now of college football as we get into July 1st. I've been thinking a lot about Lobo football and how Jason Eck has put this roster together, JJ. And not just the roster, but it's the coaching staff as well. And in some respects, Eric Olin has done the same thing. So we talk about the transfer portal, and everybody's in it, and everybody needs to be in it. And I'm down with that. I've got no issues with it. And you can build, and we've heard over the years, oh, we got this transfer. Like, you look at UNLV, and what do they got? Like 40 power school, right, transfers or whatever they in Dan Mullen's got that. And maybe that works, and maybe it doesn't, because obviously there's a lot of talent. And then you look at New Mexico and you say, okay, there's a lot of guys who've transferred from FCS where they've had a lot of success. You can look at their coaching staff and say, where did their guys come from? And a lot of them are coming up. And I kind of like where Jason Eck has gone with this. And I want to see how it plays out, and it's going to take its time. JJ, do you recall 2 seasons ago, it was Danny Gonzalez's last year, and there were transfers. You had a wide receiver from TCU. You had a number of players who came in from TCU, and you had some power school transfers. But that year, 2 of your most effective, your biggest impact guys were from Alabama State. Do you recall that?
Oh, yes.
There's something to be said for guys going up as opposed to quote unquote coming down. Okay, a guy that went to Michigan and didn't play, and look, it works both ways. So don't hear me tell you don't ever get a guy from pick your power school. If it's the right fit and the guy's coming back from UCLA, or a guy played at TCU and didn't get enough time and wants to play, I'm not telling you don't do that. Okay, but JJ, what I'm telling you is there's something to be said for a coach who was really good at Montana State or at Utah or Weber State or in the Big Sky or at FCS, and is on his way up, and this is the best job he's ever had, as opposed to a guy who was a Power 4 coordinator who got a job here and is immediately looking to get out of here as soon as he gets here and get paid again. Does that make sense? And
I can see that.
And it makes sense, I believe, and I do believe that's somewhat of Jason Eck's philosophy. And I do believe that it works for players as well. A guy who was playing in a stadium that had 70,000, or even not playing but suited up, he's not playing in front of that here. But if a guy comes here and says, wow, these facilities are great. Remember Corey Krosky-Merritt when he was here, and how he used to just rave about what he got as opposed to what they didn't have? How, wow, we get fed every day. They feed us a few times a day. Holy bleep, really? Wow, we got our own weight room? Remember that? I think there's something to be said for dudes who appreciate it and are on their way up. And I don't know what Montana's State's facilities are, and I'm sure they're nice. I'd like to believe New Mexico's facilities are as good, if not better. And I listen to the coaching staff of the people who come here. And I told you this was validated when TCU was in the Isleta New Mexico Bowl last year, and they were in New Mexico's locker room. They saw the weight room. They practiced in the indoor, and they're like, wow, actually the facilities are pretty nice. It's the stadium that's the big issue. I don't know. Tell me, I guess it'll take time to play out. I'm not telling you there is an exact way to do it, but I don't hate the way Eck is doing this by saying, you know what, I want this to be the best job or the best place these guys played and have them appreciate it, as opposed to come theoretically down and want to get out of here right away.
Yeah, there's the banking on talent that has produced versus talent that's been sitting on the sideline. It's everything that you just laid out. And this is a level where good FCS players can absolutely excel at. Because we saw what happened when Montana State came in, UNM. We've seen that, the runs that can, beating Wyoming with, and so those players absolutely can play at this level with the expectations of New Mexico versus their conference opponents, and gets more headlines or more buzz when you see, we got to transfer from Michigan or Nebraska or this or that. But I'm right there. There's not a perfect way to do this. There's not, it has to be done UNLV way or it has to be done UNM's way. No, it needs to just be done where you get talent in and maximize what you have available. And I think this coaching staff at UNM has done a really good job of getting some players in key positions. Like the running back room is
really
crazy stat.
Yeah.
Like how did they pull that off?
Yeah, really good.
Now quarterback is a giant question mark, but at least if you can, what they've been able to do over the last few years through multiple staffs was get dudes to block and build offensive lines. They have some good pieces returning up front with the additions, like winning in the trenches. It's what this team can do offensively, and then you say, all right, do you have enough size defensively to survive up front? But the players that they've brought in, I expect them to contribute and compete at this level.
Yeah, I want to see guys with chips on their shoulder. In my almost 3 decades here now, the best sustained run that I've seen was done with guys who had chips on their shoulder, who were under-recruited or not recruited, who were tough, and who appreciated being here. Now, I am well aware that it is a different era, that college football is different now than it was in the early 2000s, in the mid-2000s. I'm well aware of that. But the way Rocky Long built rosters when it got successful around here was giving guys a chance, developing, and again, I don't know that you can develop over long terms anymore. But I think Brian Urlacher, who wasn't recruited by anybody but one other school, I don't think Hank Baskett was recruited by anybody but New Mexico. Both guys who had NFL careers. The Cook brothers. I don't think anybody recruited either one of those guys. They both went to the NFL. Nick Spiegel was not recruited by anybody but New Mexico, went to the NFL. Right? There's a line of those guys. And I'm excited to see this. And this isn't me just trying to blow smoke up your backside on this. I'm not. I really, there's an energy about Eck and getting to know some of the guys on the staff a little bit and watching what they're doing and looking at the construction of this roster. And yeah, it is different than what Dan Mullen is doing at UNLV. And Dan Mullen was the SEC Coach of the Year at Florida and Mississippi State. Yeah, when it was at Mississippi State, but then coached at Florida. Like, it's a different. UNLV is a different thing than here. Well, they're in the same league. Yeah, they are, and you can beat them and they can beat you. But let's see. I think there's different ways to do this, and I think you can do it that way in Vegas when you're playing in an NFL stadium and the Fertittas just put $26 million or whatever they did into their brand new football complex, and it's beautiful and state of the art. I think, and there's that kind of money coming in. I think you can do it differently than here. But I'm okay because I got a head coach, right? That coach there, and I think Dan Mullen's going to stay at UNLV for a long time. I do. I think he's perfect for Vegas. I think they're going to pay him. His vision. They think they're going to the Big 12. We'll see. But that's a guy who's been in the SEC. Eck is on his way up. And I think he's surrounding himself with people who also are on their way up, with a few people who've been there. And it's refreshing to me. And again, I'm not telling you there's one way or the other that's right. I think there's a number of ways that can be right. But I'm interested in seeing this say, hey, I want this to be the best place you've been. I want you, that way you appreciate it. You're going to love it here, and we're going to get the best out of it. I'm excited. There's energy. And does that mean they got to do it this year? I know you want to see him do it this year. Give this man a little bit of time. Have a little bit of patience on it. Don't judge it what happens in Ann Arbor in week 1. But I don't know, man. There's a little bit of a refreshing excitement for me that, A, there's a dude who really wants to be here, who's out in the community, who's doing it in a way that he believes in, and has guys that have been successful at levels. And I don't think it's completely different the way Eric Olin built his roster.
No, there's definitely similarities there. But for local football, a lot of what you said is absolutely true, but it's hard to pass that to the fan base because the fans interact with the stadium. The fans are frustrated with the stadium. They're frustrated with the product, but you do see, some of the foundational pieces that are there for the student athletes, what you're recruiting to, and the weight rooms, the practice facility, the stuff that they get at UNM is a step up for a lot of these players, as you just laid out. And it's better than a lot of people think, just based on what they interact with is just the stadium and a losing football.
Yeah. I'd love your thoughts on it. As they built the roster, and here, we hit July, and we're going to be in it here in a minute. Do you like the way the roster's been constructed? And again, you got to see the product, right? But to me, it's a fresh approach, and I kind of dig it in theory. Now, obviously, let's see how it plays out. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls.
Gonna have a sweet deal for you here coming up in a few minutes. One of your favorites. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J Buck. Text line's down, I guess. If I haven't responded to your text or read your text, it's because I don't have it. Emails are open, though. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. You can find us there. Just to ask you a question, and I'm just interested in how you feel about it. And maybe I got to ask you the question, in 6 months from now and see how the season went. But how do you feel about the approach? And I'll ask you basketball-wise, too, JJ, because I don't know that it's much different. If you look at your basketball roster and where guys came from, it feels to me somewhat the same concept. I want this to be the best place that these guys have ever been. Do I want guys transferring in from, I mean, look, you've had guys who transferred in from Kansas and it's worked, right? J.R. Giddens was a pretty good transfer from Kansas. But there were other guys who came in from big schools in basketball over the years that they came in with all this fanfare because they came from a big-name program, and it didn't work. But some guys did. Drew Gordon from UCLA was a pretty good transfer, wasn't he? J.R. Giddens from Kansas was pretty good. I don't know, maybe your best transfer ever. Ruben Douglas from Arizona was a pretty good transfer. But when Danny Granger came from Bradley, I don't know how much you all thought. Well, Bradley, whatever. He was pretty good too, right? So they can come from anywhere. But do you want them? Do you like guys on their way up? Like you got Javis Miller, played at North Dakota State. He was Sixth Man of the Year in the Summit League. It was pretty good, right? Luke Hopp coming from Point Loma Nazarene. You're like, wait, from where? Yeah. You got guys from UC San Diego. Let's see how it plays, man. But it feels to me, JJ, very similar philosophy, both football and basketball.
I'm all on board with that, the way to look at it, because there's talented players that get overlooked at every single level. Plus, you're looking at production for these guys coming in,
right,
versus who they're playing in the Mountain West Conference. Now, it's, I think, a steeper curve on the basketball side, but I'm on board.
Oh, we've watched guys come up on basketball. I mean, everywhere. Basketball guys come up from lower, quote unquote, lower levels, and they compete well and make a big difference. And we'll see. But I just like the philosophy. I want this to be the best place that they've been, and we'll watch it work out and see if it works for football. I got a sweet deal for you. Oh, who's that? Who is that?
Say hi.
Hi.
This is Piper.
Hi, Piper. How you living? You good?
Yeah.
Who's Piper? Who you got with you?
You got your baby doll.
You got a baby? We got a sweet deal for you. What's up, Summer? How you living?
I'm good. How are you?
Life's good. Thank you. Summer is here because we have got a sweet deal for you today at the Route 66 Diner. It is one of your favorites right there on Central between University and I-25. You go there all the time. And now, if you hit our sweet deal, right at 9 o'clock, you go on our website, sportsanimалabq.com. Click on the Sweet Deal logo for just $25. You get $50 to spend at the Route 66 Diner. Tons of classic comfort foods for everyone in the family. They've got the best milkshakes and malts in town.
We do.
I mean, what's the flavor of the month?
Horchata. We're doing horchata this month. House made. It's delicious.
So horchata is, how do you do that?
So I am not an expert, but my assistant kitchen manager. No, I'm really not. Assistant kitchen manager made very delicious, legitimate horchata, creamy, cinnamon. Oh, it's so good. Yes, she has the headphones.
What's Piper's favorite? Hi, Piper. Hi. What's Piper's favorite milkshake?
Piper's favorite milkshake is literally anything with ice cream.
Any
She
milkshake, period.
Loves ice cream.
Yeah, like the watermelon Jolly Rancher milkshake.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna.
I know you do. You'd be
knew
disappointed
it.
if I didn't.
I really would have.
No, you would have been
It's true.
disappointed.
I would have disappointed.
Like
I actually
you were waiting for it.
I was really. I even told Adrian.
No, I know you did. I heard you. I've got him bugged.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yes, we have plenty of milkshake flavors, and
You rotate them
unfortunately-
all the time. Like I'm sure you got your staples, right? Like your regulars.
Yeah.
What's the most popular? I mean, is it chocolate vanilla, or do you guys like to go cook? I don't know, Oreo or whatever.
Yeah, so we actually have a menu that has like 30 plus shakes on it at all times that you can order, and then you can like customize them. Oh, bless you.
Bless you.
But yeah, one of our most popular, it's called the Pink Cadillac. It's strawberry ice cream with Oreos.
Really?
Yeah, people love that one. But I think probably our most popular is just vanilla.
Is it?
Yeah.
Just give me a
Classic vanilla shake. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know how you beat it. They've been there over 35 years. Right there on Route 66 on Central. It's a 50s. If you haven't been there, it's spectacular. It's a retro 50s style diner. They serve up just great food. The green chili cheeseburger is terrific. You got everything from smothered fries and fried pickles to breakfast. Breakfast is a big deal over there.
It is. We open at 11 every day, but we do have certain breakfast items we serve all day.
Yeah.
Huevos, our pile up breakfast burrito. Yeah, it's delish. Definitely comfort food. We also have some great salad and soup specials this month. Oh, are you chatting? Do you want to talk?
Yeah.
We are actually we're the sweet deal on Thursday,
Yep.
but we're closed on Friday for 4th of July. So just so everybody knows, don't get your sweet deal and come in on Friday. Come in any other day.
All right. Yeah, let them have their 4th of July off
Yes,
too.
yes.
The jukebox. Are you the only jukebox left in town?
Well, we actually have 3 of them, but they are not currently operating.
But
is
they
the
look good.
problem. They look great. I just wish somebody was around
How
that
do you
could
get
fix them.
someone to fix a jukebox?
It's
now, right?
it's very difficult to find someone to fix
Is
a
it
jukebox.
playing
yeah.
records or is it like?
Yeah, it's records. Yeah,
bless it.
little ones. hmm
And like the little 45s. Does anybody know what that means? 45 RPMs as opposed to 33 RPMs.
Yes.
Do you know what that means? Yeah, look at him. He's over in the crowd. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What the hell's a record? Yeah, see, they had different circumferences, and so the LP. Never mind. They had to spin at different rates.
He'll teach you about it later off air.
Well, you can if you want. It sounds like all
Just because I grew up with it, but yes.
I don't know. Well, okay, just because of that. Other than that, I wouldn't know. If I didn't grow up with, well, what?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up with it like in my era. I just grew up in the diner, so I know about those ones.
No, I did. I don't care. I'm not
I
too
love
proud.
them. They're great.
Birthday, you get if you join the Cruiser Club, which is their loyalty club over at the Route 66 Diner. You will get a free milkshake. It doesn't just have to be vanilla, although it can be. It can be the Pink Cadillac if you prefer. It can be the watermelon Jolly Rancher if you prefer. On your birthday, you get that and a free appetizer on your anniversary. Your anniversary of joining the Cruiser Club, right?
Actually, we updated that, so we have the free milkshake for signing up, and then on your birthday you get a meal on us.
Did you hear that? A meal on them on your birthday, which is really cool. All right, website.
66diner.com.
How easy is that?
Yeah.
66 DINER. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm
Yep.
making
Exactly.
sure. Otherwise, I couldn't spell 66DINER.com. They are our sweet deal today. Go by and see Summer and Piper, for that matter. Maybe
Yes.
Piper's doll. Get a pink Cadillac. Get a green chili cheeseburger. Get some fried pickles. Put it on your lunch rotation. Go by and take advantage of our sweet deal. Live on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon and do it at 9 o'clock because they will go quickly. Probably by 9:05,
Yes, sir.
they are gone because it's a big deal for you guys every time.
It is, yeah.
Enjoy that baby girl of yours.
Thank you.
Who's
She's
growing up so doggone
I know,
fast.
she's so big now.
Yeah.
Yep, she's just hanging out.
Yeah. Pretty soon well, never mind. You get it. Have a great 4th of July.
Thank you. You as
and
well.
Thanks for coming by.
Absolutely.
It is our sweet deal. It is sweet Route 66 Diner. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard. serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International
5.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
The MVP just got PAID. Woo! This just in. You seen Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's new deal, JJ? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has agreed to a 4-year deal. Have you seen it?
Big money.
$285 million for an average of $71.25 million per season. We're getting close to $1 million a game.
Yeah.
No, we're getting close to it. Like in the NFL, we're way past that. In the NFL, like quarterbacks are making pass rushers are making $2 million. $3 million a game. NBA, they play 82 games on a schedule. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander will make $71.25 million as an average salary. $285 million over 4 years. I mean, damn. Led the league in scoring. Was the MVP. Was the NBA Finals MVP. The only 2 other players who have done that, Michael Jordan. Well, there are a few other players. So the list of players to win MVP and Finals MVP in the same season. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Larry Bird. They all did it multiple times. Jordan 4 times, LeBron twice, Bird twice. And then once each, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, Akeem Olajuwon, Magic Johnson, Moses Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Willis Reed. It's a pretty damn good list, isn't it? He became the first player to win a scoring title and NBA championship in the same season since Shaq did it in 2000. The only other players to ever have done that, Jordan, 6 times. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, George Mikan did it twice, and Joe Fulks. You don't know who Joe Fulks is. It's okay that you don't. You know who's not on that list? It's LeBron James. The only other players other than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander to accomplish the triple crown of scoring champion, MVP, and NBA champion in the same season. That means scoring champion, MVP, and NBA champion. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Michael Jordan 4 times, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, he's on some lists, dude. He is some lists at this point. How you feel about this deal?
Feel fine with it.
Yeah, not my money.
Lock in a franchise player is still going to be really good over the life of that contract, and you're going to every single team in the league is going to have one dude on a supermax contract. And now the question is, what do you do if it 2? And then when Jalen Williams' time comes up, how do you figure out the SGA, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren situation?
No, you don't.
That's what Sam Presti's paid to do.
Yeah. I mean, at some point you don't, right? And that's why you've had no repeat champions, because it's hard to keep these things together. You make your run while you can, and some guys decide they're going to take a little bit less or not. How do you feel about the people Isaiah, who was in for you last week and produces 2 Men On in the afternoon, big Laker fan. He's a Laker fan. Like we need to get he's one of those guys. He's been really vocal about being upset that LeBron didn't take less money to put some back in the cap to go out and get other pieces, like, well, Tom Brady did it, and he's not wrong. But by the same token, LeBron doesn't have many contracts left. Now he's made a lot of money. Are you, like, a guy like LeBron not taking less when he's made so much?
LeBron, so he's going to go to them.
Right.
He can decline his deal, sign for a veteran's minimum. There's a business side of it. And they're not going to save a bunch of cap space initially and then just be able to go sign every free agent they want. Like LeBron going in on a veteran minimum, all of a sudden are you then going to be able to get Alexander Walker and Clint Capella and Brook Lopez? Like, it's a pipe dream, man. There's a business side to it, and there's a reason that star players also don't take pay cuts, because it's for the good of everyone else when you have unions and bargaining.
Well, what do you think, like, Brady used to do it? There are other guys who used to do it. And it's not like he took way less. It's not like...
And I'm going to look at... And it's one, it's like, slow down, man. I know Zay, too. Kobe is his dude, right? Kobe was the highest paid player on the Lakers every single year until the end. Was he worth it? No, but
not at the end. No, at the end. But through the majority of it, he absolutely was worth it.
But that's one thing in sport. Like, and the Tom Brady pay cuts were not drastic.
100% right. That's correct. They were pay cuts. He didn't take the max, and it was a good look for Tom and for Tom's image, and it helped. It did spread money around. There was, there's $3 million or $4 or $5 million to spread around, and Tommy was making plenty of money on the outside, and Tom Brady now was part owner of the Raiders. Like, and LeBron wants to own a franchise. I'm not going to get mad at a dude for making a bunch of money. Now, if you're going to sit there and say, talk about roster construction and you can maybe help with that a little bit, okay, let's have the conversation. The window for these guys, and LeBron's window has been much bigger than anybody else in the history of the game. He's going to play a career-setting, 24th year, whatever it is?
23rd year in the NBA.
The window for these guys to make money, and this kind of money, is limited. We all start our careers, right? I've been in this market broadcasting for 30 years. They don't have 30 years to do something. They got what, 8 to
this report
14
is
years, right? I mean, that's what they got. So I'm not mad at it. But man, oh man, $285 million for 4 years for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Can't wait to hear what Kenny has to say about that. Man, it's one of those things. I was born at the wrong time. Yes, you were. Want me to play? I can play with Kenny Thomas. Kenny Thomas could be coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll kick it with Kenny, hear from the former Lobo great who spent 11 years in the National Basketball Association about what's going on. But that's the news that just broke this morning, literally just a few minutes ago. The MVP got paid. 4 years, Supermax, $285 million. 505-246-0610. Come on in. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to get in on the big dumper. By the way, the big dumper can ball. He's Fred's guy, one of our callers. He's been calling in. Yeah, you know about the big dumper? The big dumper can play. Might be everybody's new favorite player just because of his nickname. You watch the little Cal Raleigh?
He is on incredible pace for Seattle.
He's hit 33 bombs. 71 runs batted in. The big dumper. Seattle won again yesterday. 505-246-0610. Come on in. You can get your thoughts on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's record-setting deal, the richest deal in the history of the National Basketball Association. FIFA Club World Cup is still underway. You can watch the entire tournament and every compelling matchup at your local Twin Peaks. That's right. They've got every game. So grab your team. Make a run to Twin Peaks for buckets of Michelob Ultra and platters of sauce and tossed wings. And the best part is they're giving away epic swag. So get on over to Twin Peaks and enjoy that. And don't forget Bourbon and Brews will be back. But while it's gone, you can do tequilas and cervezas every Friday at Twin Peaks this month. Sample some of Mexico's finest tequilas every Friday at the Tequila and Cerveza Costume Party. mix things up with handcrafted margaritas, or keep it simple with shots and 29-degree imports all around. And Bikini Week costume party is coming July 14th through the 17th. It's a bikini costume party all week. Specials on your favorite summer beverages, including those cold draft beers to keep you cool, refreshing cocktails, cheap shots. Bring your whole crew. Grab watermelon margaritas topped with watermelon Red Bull or Paloma and beat the heat. It's all there all month at Twin Peaks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick, cared out...
Classic this weekend on the PGA Tour. Recent grad Carson Heron. Heron, I know that name. Yes, Lumpy's kid. Carson Heron qualified, played in the qualifier, and will make his PGA Tour debut this week at the John Deere. He won a playoff for the final spot and qualified yesterday up in Illinois. So really cool for him, and you got another one to root for as Lobos continue to make their mark on the PGA Tour. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Hello, Fred. How you living? You're on the Sports Animal.
Hey, Jeff. You got me kind of pumped up when you talked about Lobo football again.
Good.
You know, we're talking about basketball so much, but I still remember, like you were talking about, when Rocky was around. God, those are the years. Like, we had 30,000 people or more, 30 to 40,000 people, and for 5 years in a row. And you brought up names, but I still remember, like, we all remember Urlacher and Spiegel and Bell and Azar and Baxter and Moore and Cook's brothers and Mike Forrest. And I mean, there's just so many names. These are all people from here, and I'm really pumped because almost immediately he went to the high schools and hit up all the high schools in town, like after he had been here only for about 3 weeks. And so I'm really pumped because I still think that Rocky turned a lot of walk-ons into Mountain West, or I don't know if they were they Mountain West at that time. I can't even remember.
Yeah, they were Mountain West because the wax started. It was like 1999, I think, is when the Mountain West started.
Hey, well, I got a good story though about Hank Baskett. Hank Baskett, and I can't think of the guy's name though. That's something I've probably been thinking for the last 15 minutes. But Hank Baskett needs to thank a guy that played linebacker for High End High School for changing his career, because I still remember the game I went to. Hyden was playing Clovis and at Milne Stadium, and they had two linebackers. I can't even remember the other linebacker either, but one went to Albany State and the other guy went to the Lobos, and he was a walk-on, Rocky had him as a walk-on. He ended up being all conference in his junior and senior years, or maybe his senior year. But anyway, he was responsible for turning Hank Baskett in from a quarterback to a wide receiver. He hit him in the head so hard it was about halfway through the game, and he hit him, and he was down on the ground, and he couldn't get up. He was wobbling, and from that time on, about halfway through his senior year of playing quarterback for Clovis, he no longer played quarterback.
Is that why he didn't get recruited? Because he was big and tall and rangy. Is that why? Because he hadn't played receiver for that? 'Cause I never knew that story. I didn't know he was a quarterback.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he was a quarterback. Yeah, a good quarterback too. But once he got hit by this guy, I was like, think of his name.
Yeah.
And but Rocky knew the guy was good because he recruited him and had him as a walk-on. So it's pretty cool. But that was a cool story though because of that reason. That's why he wasn't a quarterback anymore though. But anyway, he pumped me up because all the players that he had, these guys were all from New Mexico. And I'm not saying that we have to have that many guys from New Mexico, but I could just tell this guy, I don't know of anybody that doesn't like Eck. It's just amazing. I've never seen a guy everybody liked so much before the season even started. And I just hope with the toughest schedule we probably had in years and years, I just hope it pays off.
Have some patience. Yeah, and I do too, and appreciate the call, Fred. Thank you for that. That's really good. Sage, I don't know that you have to have a ton of New Mexico guys. It's good to have the guys in mind and find the diamonds in the rough. And again, I go back to the most successful run in my tenure here, and there was a way to do it. What I said earlier is I love the theory, or at least what seems to be, I want guys on the way up. I want this to be the best place they've been, so they appreciate it. And yeah, they got to be good. They got to be talented. They've had success at other levels, but they're going to be hungry.
You like to see the in-state institutions take opportunities, but people get upset when those opportunities are only walk-on spots. The reality is there's good athletes in this state, but like the Lobos and Aggies are not missing out on all these D1 prospects, man. There's a reality to it. Where are these kids signing?
That's right.
Like the New Mexico thing is something people throw out there when they're upset, and it's just an excuse for them. Like I've seen it a couple times. Where are the New Mexico players? Well, where are they on the basketball team? Where are they on the women's basketball team?
You got a Keno going.
There's a couple, and they're not at the level you want them to be. If you want to root for championship team.
Well, and I've asked that, who is it they missed on? Who is it they missed on? Right? And you say Diego Pavia's at Vanderbilt. Well, New Mexico State didn't miss on Diego Pavia. And New Mexico, I think he's making $2.5 million this year. So, not Shea Gilgeous-Alexander money, not Kenny Thomas money, but money. Kenny Thomas is going to be in studio. We're going to kick it with the former Lobo great next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Cider posing with borrowed gloves.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. but it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho.
Of a 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Heyday, man, it's July 1st. Not only does Bobby Bonilla get $1.19 million every July 1st, the former New York Met, who hadn't played since like 2001, he got a deferred deal. Every July 1st, they give him $1.1 million.
That's awesome.
But everybody else getting paid. Oh, man, free agent money's still around. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. We welcome back into the studio former Lobo, great All-America, 11 years in the NBA, New Mexico Sports Hall of Famer Kenny Thomas. As we kick it with Kenny Thomas. What's up, Kenny Thomas?
I'm back.
How you living?
Last day.
You were on the golf course the other day, so I didn't want to make your last one.
Man, I was up north on Tuesday, Wednesday, playing with my guy Zach Brunnett. Huh?
How you playing?
I'm actually playing pretty good.
Yeah, I bet you are.
I'm playing pretty good.
With as much as you're playing, you should.
I got to fix my driver. I'm a lefty.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little.
So if you turn it around
and
hit it from the right side, it'll be better.
Yeah, I got to. I might just go the opposite direction. I played Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Twin Warriors. Saturday, the Mexico Hall of Fame. And then I played Sunday at Isleta.
How was Isleta?
I'm a little tired. Yeah, it's getting the greens are good. It's looking great.
I'm playing there Thursday.
And I love how it's coming together because my golf tournament's September 6th, which you're invited to, man. Hey, I got to throw this out there. First off, the fact that you're saying that people are getting paid in July is the best month ever. If anybody knows, it's my birthday month. just to throw that out there. And I was just sitting here talking to my boy Jeff, man. We're talking about the Hall of Fame. This man does an amazing job. Does an amazing job at the award ceremony, emceeing and doing his thing. It was amazing how they honored him. Sunday I wasn't able to be there, but he was telling me how they honored him, and it came out of nowhere.
They got me.
That was cool.
Flat out got me.
Hey,
I had no idea that I was winning that award.
And I'm about to start a trend, you guys. I think Jeff should be inducted into the Mexico Hall of Fame. What do you mean? I didn't get mine until 2013.
But you're in.
But
you're in.
Hey.
Like, we talk about that, JJ, all the time. Once you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer. You get that gold jacket, you're in.
You're in. First ballot.
Don't
No.
you think, JJ, he needs to be inducted into the New Mexico Hall of Fame? I'm not trying to put you on the spot because you guys, he's like your boss, but
I ain't his boss.
I got
I'm
JJ.
I'm not his boss at all.
JJ, I didn't mean boss, bro.
No,
you know
no,
what I
we're
mean.
co-hosts.
Can I have a raise then?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Teddy just came back from vacation.
Yeah.
Give this
you
man
get
a
raise,
raise.
and you get a raise, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander gets a raise. Did you see Shea's deal?
No, tell me.
Tell me. All right, so it's called Supermax. What do you think it is?
$350
For how many
million.
For how many years?
8.
It
might be 5.
All right, so 4 years, $285 million. That's $71.25 million a year.
Wow. What is that a month? Divide that by 12.
It's almost $1 million a game, dude.
82 games? That's awesome.
How much is it?
He's the highest paid now, right?
Yeah.
You said 4 years,
280 divided by 12. That's $5,937,500 a month. A month. Here, what do you get? 2 paychecks divided by 2, so every paycheck gets $2.968 million.
Yeah, before taxes.
Yeah, he lives in Oklahoma. What's the state tax there?
I think it's pretty hefty. It's Oklahoma.
They should move to Texas.
Don't hold me to that, but
Look,
now
man.
Texas is Texas.
I
miss
all right.
Texas. You get a great amount of square footage in Texas. Let me tell you.
Dudes are getting paid. You're watching the money go around. You had Jaren Jackson, 5 years, $240 million.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Brooke Lopez, 2 for 18 with the Clippers. Dorian Finney-Smith, 4 years, $53 million. I mean, it took you 11 years to make that.
That it what?
Right?
To make what?
53, $54 million.
No, that was before taxes.
Yeah, I understand.
So I never got
all these
that.
are before taxes.
Yeah, I'm
All
just saying.
these.
Mine was 7 years, 51, but hey, I'm divorced.
That's why you're still working.
Hey, I would still be working anyway. I'm not that dude, man.
All right, what do you think of LeBron opting in? Because I'm listening to all this.
And he got it all.
$52.6 million. I mean, good for him. And people are saying, your boy Zay that you do your show with on Saturdays. He's pissed off that because the Lakers are he played for the damn Lakers. But he's pissed that he took the whole thing and didn't spread the money around. I don't know what they're going to do, but now people are saying, well, he's going to get traded. Well, if he's going to go chase a ring, which I got no problem if he does at 40 years old, wouldn't he have been better off picking his spot as a free agent? I know he would have had to take a little less, but wherever he would go wouldn't have to give up a chunk to get him there. They wouldn't have to give up the assets, and he could go wherever he needed to go.
See, I don't disagree with that, but you got to keep in mind, LeBron's Hollywood, man. That man does
He
movies.
can go back to
everything.
Hollywood and keep us home if he's going to chase a ring. Because I don't believe he's getting traded. Do you?
He's not getting traded.
I don't either.
That's not an option.
All right.
That would be the dumbest thing ever if the governor, Jeannie.
Well, but she's got a new boss now.
But still, though, come on, she's still good. The family that she comes from Dr. Buss,
Yeah, but
I'm
she's got a new
guaranteeing she
boss
still
now.
has her hands on it
She
where
does.
she's making decisions of being a very influential part. If not, why would she stay and be a
look-
part of it, selling the team for $10 billion?
Look, the real boss, I just gave JJ a raise, but if the real boss says, hell no, then the real boss gets to make the decision, right?
Yeah, ultimately.
I hope you get that raise, JJ.
Ultimately.
I really do.
But it's going to be interesting to see with Rob, the
Pelinka?
GM, Pelinka,
Yeah.
how the new ownership is going to come in, because they're saying right now that there's a lot of Arab money, I think, that's backing that whole purchase, right?
Right. But
That's associated with the guy that owns the Dodgers.
that's right. So
Right.
Mark Walters comes in, and he's got money and all the foreign money, wherever it is, but it's a new relationship. I don't think LeBron gets traded.
No.
I'm listening to all this noise now. Meanwhile,
Unless he wants to
all
be
right. So
traded.
meanwhile, their move was they signed Jake LaRavia from Sacramento. That was their move yesterday.
Yeah. Sacramento, yeah.
All right.
But Sacramento just got Snyder. I
Yeah,
think,
but
too.
the Lakers, what are they doing to satisfy him? Because out of one side of his mouth, yep, I want to be here. I signed 52.6, and this is all through his agent. And the other side, but LeBron wants to play for a championship. Well, we're going to get into what Houston did in a second.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
how do you tell me that roster compares to Houston
It
or
doesn't.
Oklahoma City?
It's not even close. It's not even close as far as the Laker roster.
Yeah.
No, it's still a little early, but they need some inside presence with the Lakers.
Of course they do.
obviously, what's going to happen?
They're
going to
get DeAndre Ayton, right?
Is that?
Well,
Yeah,
Brook Lopez just
that's
signed with the
okay.
Clippers. Who's
That's
out there?
okay.
That's what they're going to get.
But you got Austin Reeves over there too, right? That hasn't re-signed.
That's correct.
So
he signed for this year, though.
But I'm saying as far as an extension, right? So they need somebody to come in there that can be a third or fourth, like at
Well,
least
gonna
a
be
third
him.
scorer, because you shouldn't have to have the pressure on LeBron at this point.
As it is now, he's not going anywhere. He held out, right, JJ, because he can get more next year when he resigns. That's why he didn't resign.
That
It
makes
was like
sense.
4 for $89, but he can get like another $30 million if he signs next
See,
year.
but I'm telling you right now, if you have a bad year, hey, that money
I'd bet
could
on
go
myself,
down.
too. I would bet on myself. You'd have taken the $89
I would
million?
have taken it.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Kenny Thomas is in
How do you
studio.
not take that
Look,
based
man,
off of the
I don't
the
know.
roster and with LeBron being 41-42?
What's your
Come on.
point? Why not take it next year? If I bet on myself, I'm going to have a better year and I'm going to get another $30 million.
I don't. Is he gonna have a better year? He
You
had
think
a
so?
crappy playoffs
He thinks he
postseason.
is? When you don't, so you don't bet on yourself. All right.
No,
that's
I,
fair.
no. I would bet on myself.
All right.
I,
You don't bet on
I don't
him,
bet
but
on
I'm
him.
not bet on himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's interesting too with the LeBron discussion, because this isn't an off season where you save a bunch of money and then you're going to go out there and land like headline dudes in free agency. These are all bench guys. Hopefully, you can get a spark here or there.
You need a shooter in the big.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's still plenty of players that if you are rolling out Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, that I know no one knows who Jake LaRavia is,
Or even
right?
how
But
to
he's
say it.
23, but he's a 23-year-old forward.
Yeah, 6'8", 235. He can shoot.
Stretching the floor, and then
Yeah.
you can run down the list. And you can add all the names you want that are out there. This is not about LeBron's contract. This is really about maximizing this year with Luka and LeBron. And I think it's a blessing in disguise that he opted in for 1 year, because after this year, the Lakers can move on with Luka.
Because his point was, what if LeBron would have come to you and said, I'm opting out. I want another 1-1. I want another 1 year deal with another option for next year and pay me more, which he could have done.
Yeah.
Which is what he did every other year.
Which I could see that happening.
But he didn't.
What if he plays out this year? Obviously,
and then
without going unrestricted this year, like you said,
Well,
right?
he will be unrestricted.
To where he
JJ,
will
right?
be next year.
Right after this year, he's unrestricted.
And then, hey, LeBron can play as long as he wants. That's the crazy
fine.
thing
I mean, if
about
you're Lakers, at some point you say, you know what, I got Luka, and I'm going to free up that money. And
Yeah,
can I
there you go.
get pick? Who's my big free agent next year, or can I make a move with somebody?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. What you just did, because that's a lot
Or
of
what
money.
if Nikola Jokic doesn't want to be there anymore and wants to come play with the Lakers?
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
I'm
right.
just saying. Dude.
Yeah, right.
Don't look at me like
Yeah,
that.
right.
Or Giannis stays in Milwaukee this year, and next year says, "Me done with Milwaukee."
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's I think what the Lakers are looking forward to.
You got a point there.
Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610. When we get back, Kenny's familiar with the Houston Rockets.
Kinda.
Oh, are they loaded? And are they the favorites, even though Shea just signed with the champs? They had a parade in Oklahoma, but who's the favorites with what the Rockets are doing? And I want to get into roster construction with Lobos and just philosophy. I want to run something by you as well. Kenny Thomas is here. It's the final Kicking It with Kenny until the fall. He's with me and JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
95.9 FM and AM 610.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time.
All right, listen to this roster. And I think they're right now the favorites in the NBA. The Houston Rockets. We're kicking it with Kenny. Kenny Thomas is in studio. JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. I think the starting lineup for the Rockets is Fred VanVleet's at point. You run out Amen Thompson and Jabari Smith and Kevin Durant and Şengün.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Alfred Şengün. Off the bench, Clint Capella, Steven Adams, Dorian Finney-Smith.
Ooh.
And you got Reed Sheppard.
Ooh.
I mean, look, I get it. They just had a parade in Oklahoma, and they're still going to be really good, and that roster is going to stay intact, and they're just going to add. And Oklahoma City, if they're your favorite, that's fine. This, to me, might be the best roster in the NBA.
Well, the Rockets obviously are going to be in the top 3 when it's all said and done in the regular season.
They should be. I mean, and they're
should
deep.
be is not the word.
And they're deep.
Should be is not the word.
See, okay, tell me about the composition. So, because they've got the young guys in Thompson and Smith, right, and Şengün, but then you got 2 guys who've won rings in VanVleet and Durant.
Yeah.
And Steven Adams is on that roster, and
Beast.
Clint Capella. The mixture of veteran and young stud talent, and Ime Udoka, who's a great coach. This is terrific.
Well, you got to keep in mind the platform and the layout of what has been designed has come from started with the head coach. His background of being associated with the Spurs, and I was around when the Houston Rockets head coach was around, right? He was a part of that organization with the Spurs. Yeah, Ime. He's one of those guys that knows the ins and outs of the game. Everybody's saying KD's washed up. Yeah, right. Washed up. Not 37. I think he's going to impact the game even more, but it's going to be nice because you got a guy like Thompson that's a scrappy dude that plays great, has a great mid-range game, and he's a great attacker. But you got Van Vleet, I feel like knows how to play the game the right way. And I love his tempo of how he plays. And then you got Şengün. I feel like there's so many different things that he can do. Being able to actually put the ball on the floor from behind the perimeter and being able to change the dynamic of how the flow of the game goes. When you saw in the playoffs, he did that multiple times on multiple trips down the court because scoring was needed. When Green was there wasn't a lot of perimeter opportunities. And then being able to add Smith back, being able to sign Smith, I feel like he's going to be that complementary player that's going to be right there next to KD when it comes to scoring on the offensive side.
Dorian Finney-Smith comes over from the Lakers, 6'7" on the perimeter, can guard, can score a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And he just signed, what was it, a 4-year, $53 million deal. So they're terrific. The process. So why did the process work there? JJ, you and I haven't even really talked about this. Is it because of health? We watched Philadelphia do the process. Go to the bottom, be horrible. And maybe it's because Joel Embiid's health has just never been reliable. But we watched them do this and stink and tell their fans, no, we're going to do the process. Meanwhile, we've watched Oklahoma City win 24 games and come back 2 to 3 years later win a championship. Watch the Rockets win 20-something games, and now we all believe that they're a contender for a title.
Yeah.
Is it luck? Is it front office genius? Like, why does the process work at a place like this in Oklahoma City and it failed so miserably in Philadelphia?
Well, you got to have all the right pieces. The right pieces got to gel when it comes to the front office, the coach, and the players, to where it's creating opportunities for your organization to be able to advance. That's just how it goes. When you have multiple people that are trying to be too many Chiefs and not enough Indians, this is where you see OKC, the way that they are and the way that they bonded as far as throughout the course of the season. You really saw it in the postseason. And you still got to give the Pacers credit because I feel like they're creating the same identity when it comes to bonding. And you got a Rick Carlisle that's over there with the Pacers that's won a championship once again, that knows what comes with the territory when it comes to having a organization that can win on a consistent basis. You got to believe in the process. And then it really starts with the players because the players are the ones that create the whole atmosphere on how things are going to go. When you have an SGA that is a leader and you have teammates that are showing that and saying that from the standpoint he picks you up, but he's showing different ways on how to lead in different opportunities. That is how you're able to identify a great team that can probably come back and do the same thing this coming year. But it's a matter of those pieces. Guys that are on OKC, they're going to want money. I'm pretty sure, right? So there might be,
I promise.
right? So there might be opportunities to where some guys might leave and then it's not a good fit. It always comes down to the fit. It got to fit like a glove to a certain extent.
The process did not work in Philadelphia because it was Joel Embiid, Joel Okafor, Ben Simmons, or Markelle Fultz.
Well, they missed on
Yeah,
Markelle
you could
Fultz.
blow that up.
Missed on Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Ben Simmons.
Missed on Joel Okafor as the 3rd overall pick.
Who is that?
Yeah, it was a 3rd round pick.
Where's he at now? Yeah, I'm just saying.
I mean, a 3rd overall pick, not 3rd round.
And Joel Embiid never plays.
Yeah. And he's getting loaded up with all kinds of money.
And
See,
the process
Sorry,
people
JJ.
think, like the Thunder were not awful forever.
No, it was brief.
Like they traded for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams are in the same draft class.
See, but and for them to be able to like get back to the situation like okay where they were, Chet's gonna have to do more next year. He's just gonna have to.
Don't you think he grows and he evolves? I mean, it was just his 2nd year playing.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but if you're that dude, especially if you're that big for that organization, come on, man, you got to step up. I'm not saying you got to do it inside. Just do it. Put the ball in the basket.
So
That's
now,
all I'm talking
JJ,
about.
he's up. I mean, I look at Houston, right? What they got, Capella and Steven Adams, and Şengün. Like, to me, their front line is better, I think, than Oklahoma City's, don't you?
Without a doubt. Şengün alone would destroy OKC's.
Şengün's going to be a stud.
And then you got Capella
He's the
that
best.
plays great. He's a great role player. Sorry, JJ.
Well, Capella and like Hartenstein are comparable.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
And Adams, the depth is Houston's favorite now.
I mean, what? They just got deep and good, and they've got Kevin Durant and Van Vliet, and Thompson's going to be a superstar. I really believe that, too.
Yeah.
I want to hit you on this. Construction of the Lobo roster. I was having a conversation earlier, JJ and I were, about how Lobo football's gone out and how they put their roster together, and so many guys transferring up, and understanding it's a different age than when you played. But transfers are a deal, right? You get 50-something a year now. And over the years, we've watched guys come into Lobo basketball. Some have worked coming from bigger places, right?
Yeah.
UCLA, Drew Gordon was really good. J.R. Giddens came from Kansas. It worked out. But there's been other transfers who have come in from big schools and didn't work, and guys who came in from, I don't know, Bradley. And it seems like Danny Granger turned out to be a pretty good player. So I look at the construction of Lobo football, and the philosophy of, I want this to be their best job. I want this to be the best place they played. And he's got a lot of guys coming up from FCS, from Montana State, Idaho. And I look at the basketball roster, and it's kind of a lot of the same way. You got two guys from USC and a guy from Iowa State, but a lot of guys, Point Loma Nazarene, UC San Diego, that this is the best place that they played. They exceeded, they excelled at UC San Diego. They excelled at North Dakota State. They excelled at Point Loma Nazarene. And they can play here, and I'm evaluating them. I know they can play at this level. Just your thought on the philosophy of having guys transfer in. We get lost sometimes. Well, he transferred from Kansas. He's got to be great. Dude, there's been North Carolina transfers that come here that haven't been that great.
Yeah.
And we've had guys come in here that have come in from other places that you don't expect. Just your thought on the philosophy and how the Lobo roster was put together.
I'm going to start with this from my experience, right? Like, I came from El Paso, Texas. I didn't come from there, but that's the last place my dad was stationed in the Army. Here I am. I come to Albuquerque for 1 year in high school. I had an opportunity to go anywhere for college. When I say anywhere, the late Dean Smith was going to come have lunch with me, but I passed up on that. So that would
have been North Carolina.
North Carolina. And with me saying that, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your school. If it's a big school, it's a small school. It's a matter of the kids that's actually going to come in here and actually produce. Now, that's the thing, because it's all about production, and production is numbers. This is where you have to have a coaching staff to where you have to develop these kids.
Well, I think
that's what it comes down to.
I think it's talent assessment, right? And can you play? And there's something about a chip on the shoulder. And maybe it's different in football. I don't know. I think back to when Lobo football was having success when Rocky was here, and they had those winning seasons. And so many of it was kids who were under-recruited or not recruited, many local, but not all.
Exactly.
Who had a chip on their shoulder. And I think of some of the guys who came through here who played well. And is basketball different, or is it the same thing?
Well, this is a big-time program.
I think that's
Are
right.
you kidding me? When it comes to basketball, I'm not saying football isn't, because the Brian Urlachers and some of those, and the Stoney Cases and some of those guys have grown Lobo football into what it is. When you think of basketball, come on, this is a basketball state. This is a community that bleeds cherry and silver, you know what I mean? And when you have a building that was 18,000 when I played, now it's 14, 15, when that thing is rocking and you can get that thing, when you can get the pit going with this community for like 14, 15,000 people, this is a whole different platform opposed to what these kids are coming from. And I feel like half the kids that are on the roster actually came from him, came with him.
A lot of them did.
So now it's an opportunity for him to even scale, not necessarily scale, develop even more from the ones that he has not had. And then being able to have the ones that you have had, it's already been it's already being implemented and it's already structured there for what the coach wants when it comes to how he's going to be successful. And it's about playing hard in this community. You play hard, I don't think anybody in this community will have a problem, especially when you are rebuilding with a whole new roster, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds.
See, and everybody, there's other places that are rebuilding. UNLV is rebuilding. Colorado State, to a large extent, is rebuilding. Really, I mean, the only ones that you've got a lot coming back is San Diego State. How patient, and I use that word, understanding what I'm saying, is Lobo fan? Coming off the success that they've had, and will Lobo fan understand? No, it's a complete rebuild. And
No,
if you lose an early game to somebody with a direction on their name, are they going to lose their mind?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's right. And your show's going to. I mean, just wait. You got to fire this coach. I'm just wait. First game they lose in November to somebody that Lobo fan has never heard of or doesn't think they should lose to.
Yeah.
Your show, you're going to be sitting next door, late night. At 11 o'clock, taking calls. I mean, this coach just doesn't have it.
That's Lobos Live, you guys.
He was good at UC Santa, but he just can't. He just doesn't have. Why didn't he play this guy? And why? I mean, I could write your show right now.
Oh, this community is very demanding, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. They're just used to winning, and obviously every community wants to win, but if you're able to come in and impact and just play hard, I think this community will be way behind you from the standpoint of you even have a new coach coming in. It's like everybody's gone. Just wiped everything. Man. It's like you don't have the last coach that was here from the standpoint of being able to build and kind of grow from it because he's already here. So patience is going to be needed. But, hey, who knows? It might be frustrating. It might be an unbelievable year this year.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. All right, so Kenny's been in every Tuesday and Friday through hoop season, and now I guess we take the hiatus, and you'll hear Kenny on Saturdays. His show is called Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas. He'll be on Saturdays from 10 to noon here on the Sports
on the spot.
What?
Come on Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
I think I can do that.
Yeah. Can you give me 10 minutes? Can you give me one segment?
Assuming
I'm putting you on the spot.
Assuming I don't take this. Wait, hold on, stand by. I got 7:40 tea time. I might be playing.
Because I want to talk about you being in the Hall of Fame, the Mexico Hall of Fame.
That ain't coming up.
What?
I'm not going to campaign for that, man.
Yeah, I'm campaigning. I'm the one saying it.
All right, yeah.
I'm the one that wants it.
I'll come on at some point. Yeah.
Okay, and just to throw this out there, I might have Meta.
Beautiful.
Meta World Peace
on Saturday.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm trying to get him on.
All right, so listen to Kenny Thomas. Appreciate all the time that you've given us,
man. Thank you.
And you know, I think we both appreciate.
Oh, of course, it's been awesome.
The insight and the perspective. Yeah. JJ didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
I appreciate you guys.
You're
man.
staring at me.
Thank you guys once again, because I wouldn't have the other shows if I didn't start here. So thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to be on.
All right, we're going to reboot in basketball season. You're back coming in the fall?
Yes. Yeah, Lobos Live after every men's basketball game is obviously going to be over on KKOB.
You come back with us or no?
Yeah, you can. Come on, man. I can't stop where I started.
Kenny Thomas's golf tournament is September 6th. Don't forget about that. How do people sign up for that?
Thank you. I was just about to give that shout out, my guy. It's KennyThomasGolf.com.
All right. Go
and it's for Special Olympics.
Yes, which is great. All right, let's go play golf at some point. I hear you're playing well.
Let's go.
How many strokes are you giving me?
Whatever you want. You're Jeff. You could just buy the beverages.
That's fair. That's a totally good deal. All right. Have a great summer. And listen to Kenny. I'll talk to you on your show on Saturday.
I appreciate you.
He's Kenny Thomas, JJ Buck. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta. Thank you. We continue on the other side on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal.
95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values.
Sports Animal.
Kenny Thomas. Hey, trips on a tank full. You got that going on. Go over to our website, sportsanimалabq.com. Register for your first trip on a tank full. Sucumbus and Toltec Scenic Railroad. You'll get tickets and a $150 gas card if you are the winner. The only way to win, log on to our website, sportsanimалabq.com. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Good content with Kenny. Good conversation with Kenny over the last, since November, right? He's been coming in every Tuesday and Friday. You going to miss Kenny Thomas now?
It's like 9 o'clock. Like, wait, what are we going to do?
Yeah, I don't even know what we're going to do. I got to get a hold of Jerry Palm, too, see if, because Jerry's not CBS anymore. Got to figure out what Jerry's doing as we get into college football season. All right, big news this morning. Here's a little breaking news. The Bucks have waived Damian Lillard. The Milwaukee Bucks waive Damian Lillard. They stretched the remaining $113 million on his contract, and they acquired Miles Turner. So Turner's got a 4-year, $107 million deal with the Bucks. This has got to be about Giannis, right? Trying to keep Giannis. So Miles Turner, 4 years, $107 million with the Bucks. He gets a player option for that 4th year. Lillard in 2 seasons with Milwaukee, which, remember, came to an end with the Achilles tear. And they found a creative way to stretch him, so his salary will be stretched over the next 5 seasons, and that leaves their future draft assets untouched. Miles Turner is the longest tenured Pacer over 10 seasons. This is a little bit of a surprise, no?
This is shocking.
Yes.
A shocking move to waive Damian Lillard. For Miles Turner, who's good, but is Miles Turner number 2 that makes like the Bucks with Giannis title contender?
Not even close, right?
So that's a fascinating move for Milwaukee because you're paying out Dame, but you know what? Dame getting his contract stretched out, does that mean he can sign another contract and get double dip?
I believe that does. I believe that's right. All right, who do I got on one? 505-246-0610. Let's go here. Terry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Terry.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, JJ. Just want to chime in on Philly's last 10 years of disasters. Just imagine they decided they got fleeced and took Spokes. They could have had Jason Tatum. Then they did the wonderful draft of Ben Simmons, who didn't like to shoot layups. And then they traded him for Harden, who wanted to live in strip clubs. They overpaid for Tobias Harris. And now they bring in Paul George. And then you compare it to the brilliant moves of OKC, where maybe they overpaid a little bit for Hardenstein, knowing they could have him a couple years. And then when other contract came up, and then the Caruso trade was brilliant. So, Philly has just totally butchered everything they've done. And they can blame JoJo. He's been hurt and all that. But all the other supports, imagine, for a few years, Tatum and him together, I think it could have been a different story. What do you think?
No, of course it would have been. I mean, yes.
So you have it, and the patience of OKC, so you do the trade and get rid of Paul George a few years ago, and then patiently build the team, and now they're going to have to see when they have to start paying a couple of the other guys. Do they pick one and let one go over the next couple of years?
Yeah.
And so it is. Now, LeBron, to me, Paul, his agent, just say he wants the money. To me, personally, I would have figured out if LeBron really wanted to win, I would have picked either Detroit, Cleveland, or Orlando to find a trade, because the East is going to be so far down for 1 year. Those three teams, if he could have got on one of them, I think they would immediately go to the favorite.
Cleveland. Yeah, and Cleveland would have been something else. And that's the way this works. I mean, you build, and then you got to make choices. I don't think this is any different than anybody else. They just their draft picks panned out, their trades panned out. They made good decisions, and it's the old adage: you'd rather get rid of somebody 1 year early than 1 year late, right?
True, and they have it. Now, I think LeBron, even staying, I didn't think he would have to go to minimum. If there was a player he thought they could have had for $20 million a year, 3 for $60, would he been willing to take 35 instead of 50-something? Still would have kept him off food stamps. Now, you can use Brady, but I also use Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes hasn't demanded to always be the top dog.
Correct.
Even, he took it one. He could have kept saying, no, I want more. And, and it's not always getting a star. Sometimes it's getting that supporting cast guy that just helps you put you over the top. But, you'll see. So we'll see if Giannis a year from now becomes a Laker. Seems like maybe that's their play and how they're going. We'll see. But I just thought if you needed to write a book on how to screw things up, Philadelphia did it the best over the last 10 years of, if you want to screw up a franchise. But you guys have a great day. Take care. Be safe.
See you.
Bye-bye.
All right, 505-246-0610. Let me take this final break. We'll come back. If you're on the phones, please stay there. We will get to you. Wrap it up and everything. Boy, there's been breaking news this morning, too. Lots going on. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer and Science with the sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavis, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Tuesday, tomorrow, the opening drive will be live out at Isotopes Park. ESPN's Sports Center, 50 states in 50 days, will be rolling through. So we'll be live at the ballpark tomorrow. We got a couple of tickets. What do we got, 2 or 4? 4? 4-pack to give away, right? 4-pack to give away for the game. But we'll do that as we get out of here today. 505-246-0610 is the number. Edward, thanks for holding you on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Good day, gentlemen. So now the Milwaukee Bucks cut Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
So he'll probably end up in L.A., and then him and LeBron can play no defense and shoot three-pointers because they're too tired to drive to the paint.
You think that's what happens? You think
Luka and LeBron? Go ahead, Jay.
You think he ends up? Is that where he ends up? I mean, it's interesting.
No, because he just tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
Maybe they could do the three-man weave and just jack up three-pointers and not play any defense.
I mean, how's he going to play with? Yeah, but he's not playing. So I mean, he wouldn't play with LeBron because he's out for the year.
Here's my theory.
Right.
I think with Tatum getting hurt and out all of next year likely, and then the guy from Indy, I already forgot his name, with all his big shots.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, Halliburton. 2 weeks removed, his name's already forgotten in my mind. With him being out probably all of next year, it wouldn't surprise me if the NBA makes an unprecedented move and goes away from conferences next for the playoffs and reseeds everybody. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it does, you heard it here first. Now, Indiana, who stretched a 5-game series to 7 games and did a good job doing that, their center just signed with Milwaukee, Miles Turner.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it's an attempt to keep the Greek Freak in a disgruntled Greek Freak in Milwaukee, because there needs to be a presence in the Eastern Conference next year.
So, but how does that do that? So, how does Miles Turner make you better? I mean, I get how he's an addition. I don't know how he's better than Damian Lillard. I guess because he's available, he can play, and that's why. And it's about that.
I just don't know, but I think these moves are interesting, and I think they're bold moves because what you're currently doing isn't working. I think some NFL teams like the Steelers and the Cowboys can learn from this. And if what you're currently doing isn't working, then make bold moves, right? Regarding Bobby Bonilla, his $1 million payday, I get the same thing. I'm $1,000 every month, the first of the month, when my tenants pay me, so I feel kind of somewhat associated with them. I'm grateful for it.
Every month. See? Yeah.
Have a great day, guys.
Yeah, the Damian Lillard getting released is just interesting. It just is. All right, you sent some emails. Reply to JJ. JJ, we were talking about when we were having this conversation about recruiting and having guys play up, for lack of a better way to say it, and making this their the best place they've ever played, and then they get NIL money. Lobo Boost says, I sure hope they aren't overpaying NIL for, quote, overlooked players, end quote. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they're going to pay NIL.
Apply to me?
Yeah, I don't know why it's a reply to you. I don't know why I think you said that. But if back in the day, you would have paid NIL money to Hank Baskett and to Brian Urlacher and to the Cooks and to Nick Spiegel.
Guess what? College sports is like real sports. Sometimes there's a bad contract.
You mean somebody doesn't live up to a contract sometimes? That happens? Joel Embiid? Damian Lillard, I guess, in this case, huh? Yeah, it happens all the time. Rudy's in on the Pac-2, it says. Moo, because the Pac-12 added Texas State yesterday to get to 8 football playing schools. He says, I can't see how this is more than just trying to survive as a conference. Texas State? Texas State? A move born more of desperation and folly than anything else. Merging the Pac-2 with the Mountain West was the correct move, but hubris in being the big dog or acting like it was more important to Teresa Gould than finding value. The whole Pac thing will blow up within 5 years, is my humble prediction. Certainly, it was about survival. Okay, I don't know that anybody's hiding from that. They needed an 8th team. I'm going to tell you, I think Texas State's a good get. I know everybody poo-poos it because if you don't know about something, then it can't be any good. I think Texas State has so much potential. I'm not telling you it's better than New Mexico, although it might be. I'm not telling you it's better than some of the things, than UNLV, although it might be. I'm telling you it's not as bad as some people think. That's all. Now, do you think it's going to blow up like he says in 5 years?
That might be like a full system blow up, but not because it's not viable for what those teams are doing right now.
Let me tell you something. If the whole thing blows up, like if this goes to two divisions or 2 conferences, there's still going to need to be Mountain West, Pac-12, Conference USA kind of stuff. Do you think if Alabama, SC, Michigan, like the Big Ten, the SEC, the big schools go one way, do you think everybody else can stop playing football?
No.
So there's still going to need to be a place for you to play, right? If you're not going to be able to get into the college football playoff or whatever, and there's going to be another division, and however this goes, I don't know where it's going. I mean, there's a zillion theories on this thing, right? But there's still going to need to be a Mountain West Conference or something similar to that, correct? New Mexico's still going to need a place to play and people against whom to play, right? So, is it viable? I don't know. But I think that the Pac-12 went out and did what they needed to do. Was it their first choice? I don't think any of us believe that. But I don't think it's as bad as Rudy seems to think. Yeah, it was the survival move. Yeah, they needed an extra team. They needed an 8. Yes. They're outside of their footprint or they expanded their footprint. But I don't even know what footprint is in college athletics anymore. When I got New Mexico State playing the same league as teams in Virginia and Georgia and Missouri and Delaware, when I got USC playing in the same league as a school in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, I don't know what footprints mean anymore. Do you? There are none.
Nope. Like Bigfoot.
It's like Bigfoot. All right. We got a 4-pack of tickets to give away. This is for tomorrow's Isotopes game. It's a day game. It is at noon. It is against the Chihuahuas. It is the ESPN Sports Center 50 and 50 appearance in New Mexico. It's a big day for our state, and we got 4 tickets to give away right now. Caller number 3 at area code 505-246-0610. Caller 3, 505-246-0610. You'll win 4 tickets. Have fun out at the ballpark tomorrow. You and I are out at the ballpark. I think we got to bring our own coffee tomorrow. Remember that when you leave the house, because there might not be coffee out at the ballpark. I'm not sure what time they get started with that. Or if someone wants to bring us coffee at the ballpark, they can do that too.
We'll find some coffee.
You got breakfast? We got that stuff. So, join us tomorrow, live from Isotopes Park. Looking forward to that. Thank you to Kenny Thomas for being with us today. The Herd with Colin Cowherd is next. The Jim Rome Show will start after that. 2 Men On comes in at 4, and then it's Isotopes and Chihuahuas after that. We're back with award-winning radio. Tomorrow morning, we will start at 7 a.m. Adrian, thank you. Great work by you on the visual side. He is JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Go out and enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the